Hello, this is the Nightline Podcast. My name's James Pikeway, and if you want to learn more about the program, please go to www.dubai1038.com or email us, nightline@dubai1038.ae. Enjoy the show. The eminent journalists of Motoring Middle East are in the house. Applause, please. Applause, please.
Oh,
yay!
Can I get an autograph?
You are the journalist.
Oh, right. Oh, I always get so confused.
Oh, man. Great to have you guys back, by the way. Imtishan, Shazad, motorme.com. Go check them out on Facebook. In fact, I'm trying to figure out why you are wearing my shirts on Facebook.
You know what? I thought it was time to emulate my hero.
I did suggest to everyone and anyone who did comment on that shirt, there was like one, that when you get flowers on the Ram, then we'll know you've truly converted.
You know, it's only a matter of time. It's only a matter of time.
There's a lot of space on the Ram, that's for sure. So
there we go. Yeah. If you're wondering what you've dialed into, and I have also come to another conclusion, that 3/4 of the commuting population in Sharjah purposely postpone their commute so that they will create augmented traffic so that they will have to listen to Cartalk.
Is that like PlayStation VR?
Pretty much, except for real.
Augmented traffic.
Yes.
Wow.
That's my own thing.
We've just started a new thing, right?
Isn't that nice?
Tonight, folks, we're doing augmented traffic.
It is always bumper to bumper on this evening, and it's because of this show. So people are waiting, so they're caught in traffic, so they have to listen. That's it. It's that simple.
Be ready. We are on air now.
I feel there's a downside
about to be
this.
augmented. I don't know if I like the sound of that.
You know, we're talking cars, by the way. If you're wondering what we're talking about, if you're driving it, we're talking about it. Inevitably, there's 1, 2, 3, 1,000 of you who want to buy a Suzuki, or do I buy a Hyundai, or do I go for the Volkswagen? Hyundai.
I'm with
I call it Hyundai.
Hyundai. In the original Korean, it's Hyundai.
Okay.
Yeah, but I was mispronouncing the Chinese car the whole time, and I'm like,
really? What is it supposed to be
called? Can you say it again? Can you say it again?
Changjiang, something like that.
Okay.
I just call it Changjiang.
Hyundai.
There's a Y silent.
Oh my goodness. Hyundai.
This could go on all night.
Always been Hyundai.
It has? I've always called it Hyundai. For like, how long have we been doing this show? 5 years?
Yeah, but you said his name wrong for the first 3 years.
That's true, actually.
That is the power of this show. I'm so omnipresent that people don't even bother to correct me.
Neither did he. No.
To this day, I had
and
I did have a producer for 3 years. To this day, I still don't call her name correctly. I'm told. So anyway, if you've got questions, queries, comments about the vehicle that you're driving, you're trying to figure out, should I buy this? Should I buy that? What about this? What about that? How about these services? What CVT versus manual versus
No.
This
11-speed auto.
Oh, that's
with triple clutches.
Isn't that amazing?
That's what you want.
Actual real transmission now.
This is the show to get involved in. Give us a call, give us an SMS. We'll give you all those details throughout the show and how you can get in touch with us. It is Car Talk, by the way, if you just tuned in and you're going, finally, they're here. Yeah.
I'd like to meet that person that said that. Please come into the studio. I shall shake your hand.
Yeah, good luck at getting through security.
You
guys can't get through security after 5 years.
No.
The Prius, you're driving a long-term...
Yes.
Tell me about this.
The Pius, I call it. Yes.
Are you loving it?
I like the Prius. I do. I really do. When I reviewed it about a year ago, and the review is there on motoringme.com, I thought it was very, very good. And this is coming from somebody who drove the first generation Prius when that came out.
First generation to this generation, are you going?
Massive jump. Massive.
Really?
You know, the first generation really was very unsure of itself. It was a difficult car to drive. It didn't know whether to be in hybrid mode or in combustion engine mode or what gear it was supposed to be in. It was very confused.
Yeah.
This thing, smooth.
So they've sorted out the technology.
They have more than sorted it out. It is smooth, it is silent, it is refined, it is such a comfortable and wonderful place to be in, especially after we spent all day shooting out in the desert today, half asleep, and you get into this thing and you just know it's going to get you home comfortably and sip at the fuel. Just sip at the fuel.
Which is becoming more and more of an issue as fuel prices
important,
fluctuate and they start to go up. Suddenly,
yeah.
this car is well on its way.
Well, I mean, nobody would be silly enough to go and buy a V8 now, would they?
I wonder who would do a thing like that.
Based
And,
on the...
and especially a big blunt thing with no aerodynamic. Oh, right, sorry.
Yeah,
But hang on. Wasn't it this show that said everybody should get a V8 before the petrol runs out?
Yes. Petrol's
That's
running
so
out.
last week.
Yeah, that was last
We now
week.
petrol savers.
This week we've
I missed
moved
the
on to
memo.
hybrids.
That's it. We're now environmentally friendly.
Yes.
My bank account can't keep up with your moods.
Okay,
So-
so what's your liters per 100 on your Ram then?
12.3.
Okay, 5.3.
Really?
Yes.
How many cylinders do you have?
I got cylinders, and most of them are shut. Okay, so this thing will actually tell you.
This is the Prius.
This is the Prius.
And what
the
year? This is
Prius.
2017?
This is brand new.
Brand new.
2017. Well, it's brand new. It's got about 14,000 kilometers on it when
That's
they've given
nothing.
it to me. So it's still.
It's just broken
basic-
in.
Yeah, exactly. Now it actually tells you how much of the time. So I reset the trip meters when I got the car, and I've been driving around a few days now. I've done about 300 kilometers in it. The trip meter is showing me it's still got a range of another 500 kilometers.
Wow.
I've used less than half a tank, and it also tells you that about 30% of the time that I've been driving it, it's been in full EV mode.
Really?
Yeah.
Nice.
So a third of the time I've been driving this car, it's not been using the combustion engine.
So is there no sound at all, or have they created a little sound? So
There's a hum, isn't there?
Not really. It's just literally the tires, because the tires do make a bit of noise because
Yeah.
they're low resistance tires. So there's a bit of tire road noise, but that's it. No,
Now,
you
are you-
literally can move off silently and nobody would know.
are you running the air conditioning, the whole shebang,
Yes.
off the
yes.
batteries?
Oh yeah, I'm not trying to save fuel.
Okay.
I'm driving like I would drive it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say
Wow.
drive it like you stole it, but I am driving it like I would drive it.
I know how you
know.
journalists drive these things.
On the ragged edge.
Well, you know what? You can though, because one of the nice things about this, it's got great
Ask me
steering.
how I
Don't
know.
tell me it has sports mode.
It has a power mode.
Oh, power mode.
It has 3 modes. So it has an eco mode, and
Yeah.
it has a normal mode, and it has a power mode. And then the power mode, the screen sort of goes red, and you get more power. But one of the good things about this car, what they've done is they've taken the battery pack. The battery takes a huge amount of space and weight in hybrid cars. It used to be in the boot. So now they've moved it more underneath the rear passenger seat. So by doing that, they've put the weight towards the center of the car and also reduced it lower down. So they're giving it a very low center of gravity, which helps handling.
Aha.
Didn't a little company called Tesla do that already?
Yeah, but they don't sell them here.
That's the problem.
Yet. But you know
We'll
what?
see.
Once that
And
Model 3 comes out.
Besides, that's pure electric. This is hybrid.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
This is
better.
nice.
And I still maintain that
I
hybrid,
think the
is
hybrid
still the way to go.
Yeah, I do too.
Because once the pure electric car is out of battery power, it is out.
Yeah, you're driving to Salalah, you're in trouble.
Would you prefer if your phone had like an electric internal combustion motor attached to it?
I would love that.
Hey, we could market
I would
that.
love
Put
that.
some petrol into your phone.
I would love that.
Can we have like a little pull cord on the back? Just a ring.
Put a little chainsaw blade on it. You could do some tree trimming.
Brilliant. I think we should.
no, even better. You do that. The little card starts running the generator on your phone, and you could put a little burner there, and you got a little stir fry going. Oh, Samsung
Wow.
already did that.
Oh.
Oh dear, that was low.
Okay.
That was really low.
Appropriate but low.
Yeah, and wrong show. That's Tech Talk tomorrow. I'm gonna try and recycle that one. Oh,
That's what happens on this show. We just recycle.
Yeah. I test them on this show, and then I use them.
Right, we're the guinea pigs.
Yeah,
We're
yeah.
the automotive guinea
So
pigs.
another question: the Prius.
Yes.
You're a 6'2" person
No
sitting,
issues,
person
no
in the back
issues,
seat,
no problem.
comfortable.
Plenty of space. Today people were sitting in the back of the car
Yeah.
because we were using it as our kind of
Tent.
on location
tent.
car. And the good thing about it, right?
Yeah.
So normally if we have a car on location, we have to keep turning it on and off because if we get in
Yeah.
and we want respite from the heat, so we turn it on for the AC and stuff like that. With the Prius, you could just leave it on. Because the thing is, it will run on battery.
Yeah.
Till
And
it
then it
runs
will
out of
turn, and
battery.
then it runs out, then it will turn itself on, it will charge the battery, then it will turn itself back off again. But
That's
it will still
amazing.
keep itself cool.
See, that's just amazing.
Yeah.
That it really
That's
is.
great.
Stereo? What's the stereo like?
JBL speakers.
Oh, no way!
My son was like, best thing about the car, the speakers.
See, Junaid and I,
Yeah.
we're on exactly the same
Yeah.
frequency.
He was like, I love it. It's
Wait till
great.
he starts wearing those shirts.
Yeah, it's coming.
But yeah, the kids were like, they immediately hooked up their music. You can have multiple phones paired to
Oh,
this thing.
man.
And so they overrode Daddy's playlist. They don't
Nice.
like that anymore.
Yeah.
So they have their own playlist now.
Nice. Sad.
Bit
So
sad.
what's it going to run me? What's this going to cost me, this Prius?
What was it again? Let me double check that.
I think the top end is around 90,000, but there are cheaper models as well. There's only 2 models available. There's an Iconic at the top end and a base model which was called something else.
Iconic at the top end, though.
The one we're driving is the iconic car.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm
That's just the
looking
model
forward
name.
to this. I like it.
Yeah,
Nice.
it is a pretty nice car. I have to be honest with you. I mean, as a car that you drive around in, the ride is quite excellent.
So I could do the commute to Abu Dhabi in this thing easily
Effortlessly.
because
I
I
don't
mean,
know how
already
the
do
fuel economy would be
I
at
already do
high
the-
revs, though.
I already do the commute in a Wrangler. So, periodically.
Well, anything is better than a Wrangler, especially an older 3.8 Wrangler. Yeah.
That's what I'm driving.
Yeah. Now, granted, I did rack up a lot of miles on my Wrangler, so I understand the thing because it's like a shaggy dog. You
Yeah.
love this car so much.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter how much of a drink it likes. You still want to take it everywhere.
I think I was watching the gas gauge go down, the petrol gauge today go down. I'm saying, how can this be?
Well, in this thing, you're willing it to move because it barely moves. It's like, for the first 100 kilometers, it didn't move from full at all.
Well, I got back to the petrol station today, and the guy said, back already?
Yeah. So just to come back to you,
The Prius. What do we-
dynamic
Yep.
price, that's the entry-level model, 89,900
Okay.
dirhams. And the iconic, which is the one we're driving, and this has got leather, it's got the stereo, it's got everything, it's got heads-up display. The only thing it doesn't
Ooh.
have is alloy wheels, so it
Okay.
has wheel caps on it. What are they called?
Hubcaps.
That's it, yeah.
Hubcaps.
This one is 97,900 dirhams.
So the dynamic is how much? 80?
89,900.
And add another 17,000 and you
Yeah.
get the dynamic.
Yeah. No.
Eight and
Add
10,000.
another 8,000.
8,000.
Yeah.
So why
exactly.
would you just not
Why?
buy the top model?
Yeah.
No, just go for that one because you got all the kit and everything, all
Yeah.
the toys and everything like that. So it's great.
Fantastic.
Speaking of top models, I hear that the Civic Turbo has been discontinued.
What?
That's what I said. I was as shocked as you were. But Civic Turbo, no more in this market. Again, it could just be for this year, but as far as we have been told, it's no longer available. So that was a very
wasn't
short
that the
run.
range topper?
That was.
Okay.
So it's a bit of a shortage of cars at the moment because these new car deals have been so good that people are just snapping them up.
Yeah.
So
I'm very confused. On the one hand, the market's telling us sales are down and they're not moving as much metal, and now you're saying they've run out of cars.
because the car prices are so good that nobody's buying used cars.
so they've
they're
been
all-
listening to us on the radio.
Yes.
They've just been buying new
Exactly.
cars, and as a result, stocks are running low. You'll know which companies are doing well because you go in there, we haven't got any cars.
You know what? I know that Mitsubishi is doing pretty well because I saw that I saw a couple of those transporters carrying some of their new vehicles that had clearly been sitting in the desert for a long time because there was so much sand on them.
No, it's probably about 10 minutes. Every
Yeah.
car sitting out here just
Oh,
gets filthy.
man.
Yeah,
these
it does
were-
get some. But they're
you know.
moving a lot of those. What are the Fortuna rival that they do?
The Montero Sport.
Montero
That,
Sport.
I've seen quite a few of those.
That's because it looks like a Fortuna.
Yeah.
They
yeah.
both look like, actually it's a pretty good looking car, the Mitsubishi.
it
I
is,
don't know
yeah.
why you'd buy a Pajero when that thing's out now because it looks really good.
Yeah.
The interior is quite nice as well.
We're going to hold this thought, but before we do, give everyone a chance to breathe and start dialing through to the program. The Prius, 2 thumbs up so far, 300 kilometers in.
Oh yeah, stick with us. I mean, I'm driving it over the next few weeks. You can follow us on social media, and I've done some easy hashtags. So hashtag MME Prius, and you can just follow my adventures with the car.
Okay, there we go. This is Car Talk. Motoring Middle East is in the house. This is how you can join the show. When I say we're here, that's Motoring Middle East is here. MotoringME.com. Go check these guys out, by the way, on Facebook. They've got just great content going up there. Ahmed has come through. He says, so, I'm a family man and I love my MK7 GTI. I need more space and I need some thrill and power. What's my best choice?
I would say a Mark 7 GTI.
just stay with it.
Well, at the end of the day, people seem to forget that hatchbacks were meant to be family cars. That's
Yeah.
what 5-door hatchbacks are meant to be family cars.
Yep.
And the whole point of a hot hatch was to take something that was actually practical and usable as a daily family car, but turn it into a little bit of a hoon machine when you wanted it to. So unless, he's had, and maybe he has had triplets or quadruplets or something, unless that's the case, what's wrong with the car that he has? If he does,
It's a perception issue. Perception
if he
issue.
does feel necessary to go for something a bit dadsy or mumsy, if you like, then I would say if you want to stay in the same family, then look at the new Tiguan.
And the
which
new
I think-
Tiguan's phenomenal. I
It's
love
a great
those
little car,
ads.
yeah.
The Tiguan. What's better than the new Tiguan?
The new
Is it-
Tiguan, yeah. No, it's good. It's a very good car. I drove it in Germany. It's very practical. It's got more. The new car's got much more space inside, and a lot of thoughtful little touches. Like flip down tables and little torches in the back. Lots of little clever things in it.
Yeah.
So it's a very good car. Check that out. I think Imtishan is disagreeing with me.
I am disagreeing with you.
Typical that.
Typical. Because
Where would you go?
I don't think he has to get another Volkswagen. Although the GTI is good, the Tiguan is even better if you're a family man. But I think you should go out of the brand, look at something else.
But he owns one now. He's familiar with what the service is going to be.
Life is all about change,
Okay, so where would you direct him?
I'd say Mazda CX-9.
Ooh.
The new one that's coming in the turbo motor with actually less power than the outgoing car, but more tuned for daily driving. It's got a turbo motor. It'll be used stuff in the GTI. It has lots of really, really nice toys. It's extremely comfortable. These are all predictions because I haven't driven it yet, but I imagine based on previous Mazdas, it'll be the case. It also has great handling, just like a GTI, and it's a manageable size for parking. So
What about the Volvo?
that's a class up, though.
Yeah,
That's like
expensive,
double and a bit the price.
But
of a
one of
GTI.
our favorite full-size family SUVs for sure.
Also
Absolutely,
turbo,
for sure.
Yeah.
but it's a bit expensive for one child.
I don't know. He wants thrill. He wants the same thrill and
It's
power.
not a thrill car, the
No.
Volvo. As much as I love it, it's a
But
very
here-
good car.
But here's another small family SUV. And didn't your friend buy one of these on the weekend, the Ford Edge?
Well, he's thinking about it.
Yeah.
So this is an interesting story, and I'm sure he doesn't want me to talk about it live on the radio, but let's go ahead.
We're not putting any names. Let's just call
Yeah.
him Guthrie,
Guthrie.
There's a good
like Arlo Guthrie.
All right, that's a...
I don't want a pickle. I just want to ride my motorcycle. Classic.
You're just losing listeners now
Okay.
by the minute.
Right.
Everyone, no,
anyway.
everyone's Googling Arlo Guthrie to get a listen to that song.
G-U-T-H-R-I-E.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can get anything you want at Alice's restaurant. Another great song by Arlo Guthrie.
Can you get a Ford Edge, though?
Probably. Okay,
Okay.
so Ford Edge. Get
I've
back to the
been-
topic.
I've been told not to talk over anybody.
Back
so
to the topic.
if we're finished.
Technically, he wasn't talking, he was singing.
Yeah, doesn't count. Doesn't count.
Thank you, Judge Judy.
Thank you very much.
So, I had a friend who wanted to buy a car. He went to the Altair showroom, and I have to be honest, exemplary service, really good work for the salespeople because they sold him a car. They didn't just stand there and say, these are the prices, sir. They said, actually, let's take you for a test drive. Let's talk you through it. These are what you're getting. These are the offers, and we're throwing in lots and lots of stuff. So, not an endorsement, but very impressed. And he drove the new Ford Edge. And it's interesting that he drove, obviously, there's a 200K one which he drove, and you can see the
Yeah.
review on motoringme.com. That's the Edge
Very
Sport.
soon. Yeah.
That's a bit pricey.
Yeah.
He's not in that kind of
But
budget.
wait, hold on. When we're talking pricey, what are we talking? 90?
200K.
That's 190 for that one, the one that I drove. Yeah. Yeah.
It has the 2.7 liter EcoBoost. That is a rocket.
It's a rocket, but that's a lot of money.
15
Yeah.
horsepower.
Yeah, it's but it is immensely good fun to drive. But yes, it is kind of, it's like really, it's actually going back to the GTI guy who wants performance and something
Yeah.
that's fun to drive, but something that's a little bit more practical. If he can stretch the 190, then that's the sort of car that he should be putting on
Okay.
his
It
shortlist
is a
and
fun
going to
thing,
check it
isn't
out.
it?
Yeah.
So what happened?
What happened was that he was looking at something about 75,000 dirhams cheaper. So he looked at the base model. And the base model, interestingly, comes with two different engines. It comes with a 3.5 V6 with 290 horsepower and a 2-liter EcoBoost with 255 horsepower.
Uh-huh.
And they are exactly the same price. Now,
Okay.
which one would you pick?
The bigger engine.
Bigger engine, right?
Aha.
That's what most people would pick.
And
And he drove them.
Okay.
He drove them, and he was like, the V6, it's not bad. It's pretty good. Got some nice pickup. It makes a nice noise. Drove the EcoBoost. Fell in love with it.
Really?
Because even though the EcoBoost makes less power, it makes more torque and at lower RPMs. So for
Right.
those of you who are wondering what all that means, that basically means that when you step on the gas, you can get into the good stuff faster in the turbo.
So that basically means you're going to win the Stoplight Grand Prix pretty much every time.
It's
Stoplight
quick,
Grand
that
Prix,
little
yeah.
2-liter
Yeah.
EcoBoost.
And what it does is around town, it's
The
better
meat of the
because
power band, you
because
can get
the
into
performance is right there.
Yeah.
It is on the tip of your toes,
Huh.
if you like.
What's the price range again for that?
Well, that starts at 115,000 for the front-wheel drive
So
car.
suddenly that's very affordable.
120 for the all-wheel drive car. But
that
the
one
Eco-
is about 135 that he was looking at,
the
right?
one that he was looking at was
Mid-spec,
135, which is actually a special price because normally they're 150.
Hmm.
So that's the thing. You get an EcoBoost car, okay, you compromise maybe in the top-end performance, but in the real world, it's just as usable. And then you're saving on gas everywhere. If you're not in the turbo, you'll be pretty much eco rather than boost. It'll be nicer to drive because the front's lighter. There's literally no downside here, unless for people who really want to drag race. And I don't think in the real world the
Yeah.
V6 is faster. So Ford is knobbling their own car, but with a good purpose. I think they're trying to push people into more economical cars.
But I tell you what, it's certainly offering choice. I mean, V6 or a
We
four-cylinder
should
for
applaud that,
exactly
right?
the same price.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's up to you to decide. But for most people, I'm curious to see what people would think. Would you buy a V6 or would you buy the EcoBoost? But
And the other thing to point out in this story is Guthrie is very intelligent because he's done exactly what we recommend to people. He's taken them for a test
And
drive.
that's what you do.
And and that actually swayed his decision. He changed his mind based on his test drive.
interestingly, because he's been driving a V6 Prado all these years, about 10 years and nearly 300,000 kilometers, and he still doesn't want to sell it. I'm forcing him to sell it because it's ancient. But He didn't want to drive the EcoBoost. He's like, 4-cylinder, wasting my time. So he just said, let me drive the V6. I had to twist his arm again into driving the EcoBoost. And he drove that for all of about 3 seconds. And he was like, eyes widened right up. And then he's like, after 10 minutes, he was like, okay, I don't need to drive anymore.
I'm going for the EcoBoost.
So now I just decide which one I want, which trim I want. So that is how you sell a car, and that is how you offer people choice. So I think Ford deserves a round of applause for that. Well done.
There we go. Ford's done it.
We tell manufacturers to do this, and they've actually gone and done it. Now, whether the market responds to that, who knows?
So we're giving ourselves a round of applause. We have no idea if we answered Ahmed's question.
That's a good question. Probably we did.
Yeah, okay, fair enough.
You'll let us know.
Let us know. Let us know.
Motoring Middle East is in the house. This is Cartalk. This is Car Talk. Motoring Middle East is here, and Razan's got a question. Which one is better, the new Mazda 6 2.5 liter or the Honda Accord 2.4 liter in terms of performance and fuel efficiency?
Oh, for goodness sake. Is that even a contest?
Yeah, Mazda.
It is absolutely demolition derby. Now, the Mazda 6 is faster because it doesn't have a CVT, and it does better on gas, even though it doesn't have a CVT. Now, I will say that it is also better to drive, because it doesn't have a CVT.
No, there's no bias here, right? Like you're
not even a slight. I mean, I'm a noted Mazda fan. However, there is one thing I will concede to the Honda has, which it has, which the Mazda doesn't, probably will never have, which is better resale. The Honda Accord is apparently one of the best resale vehicles in the country, according to a recent report that came out. Number 2 and number 3. So, very impressive vehicle. Nissan Patrol is number 1. How is a 200,000 dirham car with the best resale? But very impressive work from Nissan as well to show up those residuals.
all right.
What I would just add to that is, because I have to disagree with him somehow, right? But so I'm going to throw in another car, and the other car is the new.
There's no option for another car. This is closed.
I'm giving them options, right?
Okay.
Chevrolet Malibu.
Ooh.
69,900.
Right out from left field.
Ooh, go check it out. That's a lot of car for the money. Same price as the Hyundai Sonata. Very good looking car.
Forget about the Sonata, but the Malibu is like all new and all fresh.
Yeah.
But I would have loved to put that up against the Mazda 6. Driving dynamics, power, comfort. That would be a very interesting discussion.
Yeah. Go give the Malibu a spin and then give the Mazda a try. Honda, sorry, there's no love in this. No love in the studio today for the Honda Accord. So, all right, there we go. That'll sort you out. Another question that's come through. This one is from Nazafi saying, "What do you guys think of a Forester? Currently, I'm running a CX-5."
Oh, right, okay. I'm like, is he talking computer jargon? Oh,
so I guess he wants to go.
Talking about? So he's talking about he's got a Mazda CX-5.
Yep.
And he wants to. He's considering a Subaru Forester. That's what he. Well, first of all, he's obviously a maverick because he doesn't follow the crowd, does he? Because he's got a Mazda on the one hand and he wants to go for an even more obscure brand.
Skoda next.
He should go for a Skoda next because that's that's the old complete the set. Yeah. As far as because I haven't driven the new Forester, I've driven an old Forester. I've driven an old Forester a long time ago, but
wait for it.
No, I didn't say it. I didn't win that. I didn't go. But I have driven an old Forester. Now Subarus, as you well know, James, are extremely rugged, dependable, and reliable, solid
They've got
cars.
Maybe the best all-wheel drive, four-wheel drive
for that type of vehicle.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean they will not let you down.
No.
But
where are you going off-road in your Forester?
You could actually, but we'll come to resale and stuff. You're going to lose out because that car is just not very common here. So that's an issue with the car. But then the same applies to Mazda. So clearly, this is not a man who cares about these things.
Forester versus CX-5? Ooh.
Well, I'm sure Imtisan is going to say stay within the Mazda brand.
Of course.
But what I will say is, yes, certainly go and take the Subaru for a test drive. Subaru at the moment, I don't know about the Forester, but I know that they are doing deals on many of the other cars in their range.
They're really pushing hard.
They're pushing hard. So go check them out and see if you can get a really sweet deal off them.
So you'd say go give it a look.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, totally. Yeah.
It's a great vehicle.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know. Why does he not
I
like?
actually agree. You know what? Try something different. Life is short. You might as well try the Forester. And Subarus are pretty rugged, tough little cars. Very good on gas, etc. And you know, there's actually a Forester STI running around Dubai.
Really?
There is one for sale. A Forester STI with a 2.5 turbo engine from the STI.
Nazafi, when you buy this Forester, send us photos. We want to see it. Okay.
No, better than that. Let's drive it because we haven't driven one yet.
Bring it down to the studio.
That's what it's called.
Do a review.
So here's another one that's coming. It says, "Hi guys, I want your general opinion on the Jaguar SUV, please. Also, if you know the price range."
It's expensive. It's not affordable. I think the prices start at, again, I know the top end is somewhere in the 300s, the lower end is in the 200s. And I have a somewhat controversial opinion because I don't particularly like it. I've actually been in it and I don't like it.
But what don't you like about it?
I thought the ride was hard. I thought the interior surfacing was unimpressive. And the system...
Jaguar, though.
Yeah, I don't know. They was very blocky, the interior. I mean, the quality seemed fine, but for the amount of money they're charging, I thought Jaguar could have done better.
Is it kind of like Jaguar makes saloon cars? If you want to have this SUV, head over to the Land Rover, Range Rover?
No, I think the SUV will sell because people want SUVs now. They don't want Jags. They want the F-Pace. Having said that, I feel that I'm sure I haven't driven it yet. I can't tell you how it drives, and that's really the big special sauce with Jag, right? But from an interior perspective, I wasn't particularly thrilled to be in it, and that's the problem when your car, supercharged V6 or not, costs nearly 300,000 dirhams, because I'd always be walking over to the Hellcat side of the fence. If I don't care about interior quality but want a nice drive, I'll be buying a Hellcat. Thank you very much.
Although the quality on a Hellcat, oh my God.
Actually, the interior is very nice on a Hellcat.
Well, not even the interior, just because we drove a Hellcat a few weeks back.
That had been thoroughly enjoyed by...
This was a car that had done the full press circuit, had done track days.
Been to Saudi.
Had taken the abuse, and it was solid. I mean, we normally say don't buy an express car. I would have bought that car because that's how good it was.
But it's not an SUV, though.
It's not an SUV. Coming back to the F-Pace, also, I haven't yet driven the car. I'm trying to get one, so as soon as we get one, we'll do a review on the car. But contrary to what he says, I quite like it. I think it looks nice. I'm confused by it.
Etc.
Yes. Hold on, you're confused by it.
I'm confused by it because the only confusion I have is why have Jaguar done it? Because Jaguar also are the sister brand to Land Rover, and and that's not me. And Land Rover, of course, build SUVs. This is what they do.
And that was my question, right?
And they have the Discovery Sport, which is a great family SUV. Although not much
What is going on here?
New
it's
Discovery
called cash
also
money.
coming. What is going on here is that it appears that every premium manufacturer now feels that it's utterly necessary to go into the SUV market segment. For example, we were talking about Cadillac earlier. Yeah. Well, not even that high, but we were talking about Cadillac earlier, and we were discussing how the CTS is a brilliant car, the ATS is a brilliant car, but the one that's really selling well for them is the new XT5.
Yeah.
You know, because it's a compact crossover SUV, and that's the one that families are going for. So it's going back to the early question about the guy with the Golf who feels that he has to have a taller, bigger vehicle because he now has a family, and I think that's the general trend in the market. So saloons are out the window, and SUVs are the in-cars for families.
They're just station wagons. People don't like to use the phrase, but station wagons is what these cars are.
It's better than minivan.
Yeah,
see, I like a minivan, but again, I'm a bit of a weirdo. But most people don't like minivans.
I know. I like
the new Pacifica.
I like a good town and country. Yeah.
Oh, I grew up in a Grand Voyager.
And that Kia looked really good. That was it, the Sedona, the Carnival, whatever. That's
I like the
nice.
Nissan. The Nissan one looks awesome. Anyway,
the Quest. Okay.
Yes.
Let's talk about cars they can actually buy.
Yeah. So we got another one that's come through. Have you seen the new Koleos and Talisman? Both models are around the 70,000 mark. What are your thoughts?
We haven't driven either of those cars yet.
Hi, Partha.
Yes. But I did put a post up about the Koleos, and the Koleos looks well grown up from what I remember. I have driven a previous one. We actually had a long-termer once. And
that Renault forgot about.
That Renault forgot about for a while. And in at that time, it looked like it was a car that was growing, that was evolving into what it wanted to be. But looking at the current model that's out there, it looks really solid. It looks refined. It looks grown up. You know?
What is the Koleos really? Because I know the Talisman is basically a Maxima. So what is the Koleos?
I think it's a Pathfinder looking at the size
and
the shape
of it.
But
I would say it's extra.
I can't. Is it an X-Trail? Is it?
I think so.
I would have to look that up. But
I can't see Renault doing big V6 powered anything. I think it's X-Trail.
It looks like a chunkier, hunkier
It's
beast of a
quite a
thing now.
nice looking
Yeah.
car, isn't it?
Price
is,
range
yeah.
though, again, the prices are decent.
But Renault price has always been very, very competitive here because their resale is not so strong. So the initial purchase price is very, very competitive, which is why we saw so many Renault Dusters being sold not so long ago.
Quietened down a bit now, the Duster.
Yeah. I think the Captur took some of that market because that's also a very, very good car.
Much better interior quality, etc., etc. One smaller engine, more economical. It makes sense.
But we'll be trying to get hold of these new Renaults in the next few weeks, and as soon as we do, we'll try and bring you reviews on those.
Sam's come through with a great question. A 2015 Hyundai Elantra, 36,000 kilometers. Question is, how long should I hold on to a car like this before I try to move it?
Elantra, forever and ever.
That's what I was thinking. Drive it till it dies.
Look, I mean, at this point, you've hit the immediate depreciation, minimum 3 years. And to be honest, with the current situation in the market, the used car market, I would say, don't worry about the mileage. It doesn't matter. I know a friend of mine who sold a G35 with a fairly inconsequential, shall I say, 80,000 kilometers, and he got very little for it. And all the cars in the market also had 200 or 150,000 kilometers, and they're priced the same. So you might as well drive as much as you want, because it's not going to make a difference now.
Another quick one from Nazafi saying, for me, the Civic lost the plot after 2010. Sigh. Now, they're lost my interest on the Pilot as well.
I tend to agree.
We actually totally agree with what you're saying.
But we're responsible for that.
That was the last good Civic, that one.
Because we're the ones who scooped that Civic when it came out, the refresh model. And by the time we said, I don't know if Honda's really nailed that one. And I don't think they did. So the one before that, the 2006, 2009 Civic, perfect. Buy that all day long with confidence.
This is Car Talk. If you got question, the men have answers. Imtishan and Shahzad are here from Motoring Middle East, and we are talking cars. We got a caller on line 7. Let's head over to the phone line. Good evening. Welcome to the show.
Yeah, very good evening, gentlemen. I'm enjoying your show.
Hey, thank you very much.
Thank you.
How can we help you?
Yep, I heard that today Toyota, they have an offer, so I was trying to buy Land Cruiser for almost 6 months. I checked their price. Then I went to Awir. I found a huge difference with the price, something around 30K, and I was very surprised.
It's
I'm really
Awir,
confused.
though.
Shall I go with the Alpha-Tame, something like they have GXR for 250,000? You go Awir, they 30,000 less you have.
We always recommend
Sharp intakes of breath all around the table. This is, I'll just take it initially, then I'll pass it on to our resident Land Cruiser expert. I'll cover it more generically, the aspect of buying from a dealer versus aspect of buying from Awir. It's what we've always said. What you have to be aware of is that more than likely the car Awir is not GCC spec. Is it GCC spec, the one that you saw?
They said the dealer said it's GCC. They outsourced them from Oman, he said.
So warranty situation.
It's a GCC warranty, but you may find that you have to pay a fee to open the file at Alpha-Tame. Again, we can't confirm this, but I don't think it'll be as straightforward as claiming your warranty
Land
directly.
Rover, for example, definitely do that, where you have to take out.
Dynatrade probably will.
Yeah, Dynatrade. But Toyota, they are okay, reliable. It's not that the warranty is not that scary for Toyota so far. I have a good idea so far. I've used them. They are okay.
It's a chance you're taking, but we always recommend you buy from the dealer. There's a reason you pay more is because you have less hassles. Now, people can buy those cars from Dynatrade. They can buy them, but we don't recommend it because the official distributor is Alpha-Tame Toyota.
There we go.
Well,
excellent. Let us know how you make out. Thanks for calling. See, it's a real catch-22, isn't it? Save a little bit, maybe you're going to spend a little bit more.
Those other Awir prices are so tempting. Every once in a while, somebody will come to us and say, "Oh man, I saw this car on Awir.
Yeah.
These dealers are ripping us off."
Yeah.
But you don't know the story with these cars. You really don't.
That's the issue.
I mean, it may say 0 kilometers, but you don't know.
Hey, I'm not saying don't go down there and, get yourself a bargain. Yeah, sure, but just remember and just realize and just understand that you're taking a bit of a gamble. And hey, if you're that sort of person, then fine, go for it,
Here's a question come from Suhail saying, need to know which one is better in terms of space, petrol, luxury, resale value, the Previa, the Odyssey, or the Sienna.
After spending a lot of weeks not really favoring Honda products, I'm actually going to do a complete about 10 on this one and go with my old favorite, the Honda Odyssey, because I do think that's a very well thought out vehicle, very spacious, lots of clever touches.
Not the little one.
not the Odyssey J thing. No. Don't get mixed. And the good way to recognize them is there's a little kink in the sideline that just goes above the third window. So that's the one to go for. I think it's a very clever vehicle.
I think the Nissan Quest.
And I think it will hold its value well.
No, not Nissan Quest. I think that there are no other choices apart from the Odyssey, because look at it like this, right? Nissan
why
Quest,
not the Quest?
Import, grey import. Toyota Sienna, grey import.
Yeah.
Oh.
Previa is basically a hotel transporter. I've driven a Previa, and they're nice enough if you're taking like 7 people to the airport, but it's not a particularly nice car for you and your family to run around in. I mean, you could do
the
that.
Odyssey is it.
I will check in just 2 other options. Obviously, the Kia Sedona Carnival that we mentioned, because I think that's a really good-looking car. I haven't driven one yet, but I do like it. And I'll show you one other one, which is the Volkswagen Multivan. I really like those.
Do you get those? Do you get the multivans
yes,
here?
you can buy those here as a family vehicle with the swivel commando.
Do they have any in the fleet?
Do
they have any in the fleet to test drive?
They used to.
Okay.
They used to.
Okay, you're gonna hook me up.
Okay.
Okay, there we go. So there you go. You really, the Odyssey really does come down to the choice.
I think it makes a lot of sense.
Okay, Honda's gotten something right.
They got that one vehicle. I think is probably the one to walk in there and get. Yeah.
Electric charging stations. I know there's some at Dewa.
Yeah, there are a few and far between. It's not as common as, say, for example, in Europe, where most service centers have.
There are actually some petrol stations now with charging stations as well.
Which ones?
The one I can't exactly tell you, because I was filling up my tires, if you remember last time when we stopped.
Right.
And there was a charging station
Are
right in
these
front of me.
on the 311 or?
Yeah. You'll have to Google it.
Okay, so we're going to keep an eye out for these now.
It's a good point.
Future.
Thanks. We'll have to look out for these, actually.
We will try and report back to you at some point.
There we go. What do you guys think of the Genesis? Now, this is a loaded question because the person who sent this in just got a 2016 year model. They love it. 5-year warranty, 5 years full service. This is it's working for them.
Best car ever.
Best car on the planet, bar none. Rolls-Royce can go suck an egg. It doesn't matter. Just get the Genesis. Brilliant. Well done, sir. Is he off the air now?
Yeah.
Are we off the egg? Can we talk for real now? No, it's a good car. To be honest, I mean, for what you get for the money and the value.
I think that's it. The money, value, price. Yeah. Man, that car works.
The kit and everything that you get and the
I'm
comfort,
just not sure
fantastic.
Genesis. Sorry, why are we saying Genius? Genesis is a premium brand yet. I think they're working on it.
No, but that's what they're doing.
They're trying it.
Yeah.
But just saying it is not the same thing as making it happen. So it took a long time for Lexus to get to where it was, and some really, really excelsior products here. So I hope that they get there. The Genesis is a pretty good car right now. Is it the kind of desirable upmarket car they want it to be? We'll see. Hopefully.
Another one coming back from Edward saying the Talisman. Shall I get one or not? It looks so sweet.
Oh, go on.
At the end of the day, if that's the reaction you get from looking at a car, then you're halfway there to buying it anyway.
Yeah.
Then go down to the dealer, take one for a test drive, make sure you're comfortable in it, make sure you fit in it, make sure everything works for you.
It's a decent
see
car.
What kind of deal you get off the dealer, which in Renault's case is likely to be a very good deal, then absolutely go for it. Totally, why not?
A lot of people say, well, the resale value's, not so good.
No, it won't. Honestly, it won't be, but
I never buy a car thinking of reselling.
No,
I buy a car
no.
thinking I'm going to be driving it to the junkyard. So
no.
That's not one of my
or
issues.
getting it trucked there anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
No, you buy a car because you like it and you want it.
I think it looks cool. So, definitely go give it a test drive.
Yeah.
A Honda CR-V or the Audi Q3 or a Pajero. Mahmood, what do you guys think?
The Audi Q3.
Q3.
Yeah. Nice car there.
Also completely different class to the other two.
Well, that's what I'm looking at.
It is a bit smaller than the others.
CR-V.
Isn't it?
If you go off-road, buy a Jeep.
Yeah. Okay, there we go. Q3. Simple.
Q3.
And finally, an old favorite.
In your opinion, which one is a better buy from a driving but also reliability perspective? The Cayman S 2011 year model with around 60,000 kilometers, or a Mustang 2000 GT 2015 with about 10,000 kilometers? Mustang.
It's a newer car. It's got less mileage.
It's got less mileage.
It's not German.
Mustang.
It's made from pig iron. It'll work.
Mustang.
It'll work.
There's no question, unless you really want to have Porsche.
It's kind of a weird one because people who buy Porsches don't cross shop with Mustangs. So this is a very interesting.
That's unusual. That really is.
I mean, you really must have X amount of money and thinking, oh, what do I get for this money?
I'm thinking of Mustang.
My heart is saying Mustang, but I have to look at his question, and he's saying reliability, durability. I mean, I'm not to say that Mustang is unreliable. I mean, if it's been well maintained and looked after, but the problem with the used Mustangs is that they are most likely been drag raced, abused, or modified.
Or driven like you, the way you drive.
I'm not guilty, but you know what I mean. Whereas the Porsche, I've been in situations where we've had Porsches and we've been ragging them all day on the track in a safe environment, and you can then drive them home for a week, and not a nut falls out of place, not a bolt, not a sound, not a squeak, not a red light, nothing. They're absolutely solid. Porsches are designed to take a lot of abuse.
You don't think of Ford?
Why are you abusing your expensive Porsche?
Yeah. Well, these are sports cars, I mean, the likelihood chances you're buying them used, the likelihood chances are they will have been abused.
Just take your Mustang and
2011 versus 2015. I'm driving that Mustang home.
I'm putting some racing
suspension
in exhaust.
I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just.
Oh, you're just saying.
I'm just throwing that in.
You were spitballing.
Yeah, but I'm with you.
Okay.
I'm with you. I'll fight you for the Mustang keys.
Okay.
Totally. Yeah.
One last one, guys. Any feedback on the Chevy Traverse? I'm thinking of getting a family vehicle.
Fine car. I think it's going to be replaced soon, so that's the only thing to be considered. I think maybe look at the new GMC Acadia, which just came out.
Very nice.
Which we have a quick.
You drove that?
Yes, I've driven that in Vegas. Lovely car, and I think it's reasonably affordable at the lower end as well. You actually have a 2.4 4-cylinder, but
nice.
Good car.
There we go. So you can't go wrong, Traverse. Maybe take a look at the Acadia. You'll win on all accounts. Gentlemen, we've run out the clock on the show. It's actually after 10 o'clock, so we're eating into the next show's time. Oh, that's my show too, so it's okay.
That's all right. We can talk about SEMA now. It's fine.
I'm getting notes put up on the window from Esther saying you're pulling a McCarty, Chris McCarty. You're eating into the next show, but it's your show, so it's okay. Guys, next week, same place, same time. And go check these guys out on Facebook, because they're doing some really cool stuff with, I don't know why you're dressed like me, but I'm taking it as the supreme compliment.
Take it as you will.
Stockholm Syndrome.
Yeah. There we go, that's it.
Let us out!
MotoringMiddleEast.com. You do not lose by going and checking out what they're putting up on Facebook. Information, entertainment. It is informative all the way around. And hey, you have a car buying guide.
We do, yes. On the website, motoringme.com. That's right, yeah.
Go get it, download it. All your questions will be answered. It's like a genie in a book.
Thanks very much.
Here we go.
Brilliant, thank you.
Gentlemen, we'll talk to you next week. Have a good one. Bye.